Friends too.
Yep, we got it.
Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to another edition of BleachBANGS. We've got a light divided with JC, the lead singer. What's going on?
How's it going? Stoked to be here. Thanks for having me back.
No problem. It's always so good to see you. So always got something going on. So what's been happening in the last 7 months?
Oh, just working on some new music, releasing it, hitting the road, doing all the things.
Oh, well, we might need to dive into that.
Let's first say welcome back. And yes, let's dive in and let's play a little preview of their new song.
Yeah. So we've got Rain, and hopefully it doesn't stutter, but here we go.
I get strung out when my brain stops feeling. Always awake, but I'm dreaming. I seem okay, our looks deceiving. But you'll never know, 'cause I'll never show. The cold in my bones, it's everywhere I go. A wounded soul, stuck living like a ghost. Life feels like a joke, rain comes but never goes. It's holding hostage what I need the most. Rain comes but never goes, rain comes but never goes. Rain comes but never goes, rain comes but never goes. Rain comes but never goes.
Oh, that is so awesome. You have such a wonderful voice. That is amazing.
Wow. You're too kind. You're too kind. I appreciate you.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. I just got chills.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I agree with what he said 100%. So.
Thank you. I'm super proud of that song. I was a little nervous because it wasn't as heavy as some of our previous releases, so you never know how people are going to respond. But I really just wanted to do what I thought was best for the song, and not necessarily what I thought people might want. Just tried to stay true to what I wanted to create, and I'm so stoked on it. So thank you for all the kind words. That makes me feel really good.
Was that one that you guys...
You've earned all of them.
Were you playing that on your latest tour as well?
Yeah, we booked the whole tour sort of around that release because the song is so important to me. I just wanted to be able to go on the road and connect with everybody and be able to talk about the song and, tell them where I was coming from, maybe, help some people that are also struggling through their own rainy season in some way. And that was really important to me. So I was really glad that I got to go out there and do the damn thing.
So let's kind of deep dive into it. So
yeah, absolutely.
What is the song all about and what does it mean to you?
So the song was written during a point in my life where I just felt like I was getting beat up by life, just one bad thing after the next. And it kind of got to a point where I was struggling with a lot of thoughts of feeling like, well, maybe I just shouldn't be here anymore. And one of the most isolating parts of depression, I feel like, is feeling like you have to pretend like you're fine when you're not. So the song was sort of like a love letter to people just struggling in the thick of it, because, you know, the more you try to, like, a lot of the times when you try to push it off, it can also make it worse. Like, nah, it'll be better. It'll be better. So this song is kind of just sinking into the feeling, being like, okay, fine, this sucks. Because a lot of the times once you stop trying to force your way out, that's when you find your way. So that's sort of where the song stemmed from. And, you know, just taking something dark and trying to turn it into something positive, you know, finding the silver lining in the suck.
Right. And that's a good point. I mean, it's kind of like, it's not anywhere close, but the more you try to sleep, you go, I got to get up in 5 hours, the more you're going to stay awake. So the more you try to go, okay, this isn't so bad, the more your mind is just going to take over and just, so embracing it. That's awesome.
Yeah, just being able to take a second to vent, like, even like you said, because sometimes it's hard to even admit to the people in your life that you're struggling because you don't know if they would get it, or, you know, you don't want to burden people. So this song is even just a way to, like, sit in your car and just say it out loud to yourself, and validate your own feelings. I think that's important. And, you know, just kind of normalize it being okay to feel like shit every once in a while. You know, I know social media in particular is, you know, a highlight reel of everybody has this vacation, or they got this promotion, had this, that, and the other, all positive, and you feel like, well, I don't have any of that. Like, that's okay too. Like, it's fine.
That's outstanding. So how do you go about writing a song? Do you just, how does it come to you?
So we've sort of changed the process over the years. Like, sometimes it used to just be like writing lyrics, but now we kind of we start with, like, the concept. Okay, what do I want the song to be about? And then we come up with, like, okay, well, we'll start with the chorus. Let's come up with the hook line, because that's, you know, the center of the whole song, so that we focus on that and just kind of build around it. This song originally was a little bit different when we first wrote it. It was a little bit darker in tone musically. There was a lot of synth, a lot of production, and I kind of felt like it was missing a certain vulnerability that I thought the song would benefit from. So we ended up at one point literally dumping every piece of music that we had around it, kept the same vocals and the melodies, and just rewrote something a little simpler and something that I thought would focus on the message and the lyrics a little bit better. So we're kind of going through a process of doing that, like, just kind of just doing what's best for the song in general, as opposed to, well, this needs a heavy part or this needs that, you know, like, those kind of things don't matter if the song itself isn't good. So, like I said, just kind of stripping it all back, doing what's best for the song, and more importantly, doing what you feel is true to you, as opposed to, like I said, presenting something you're like, well, I think people want or expect this from us. Keep the hoes on their toes. So my new bumper sticker coming soon.
I love it. In the merch store.
That's a new one. I dig that.
Speaking of the merch store, I know all your stuff is on a link tree off your Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My dog is mad.
I'm like, let's play. Like,
who are you talking to, Dad?
Give me just a second.
Oh, right. This is what I live for. Let's play with dogs. It's the whole podcast of puppies.
Totally unscripted.
It's what we do best.
She just yells until she gets picked up. So
look at the little Luna. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Just want to, like,
yes, you're like
the real star of the show.
Right.
She did the same thing to me last week, and I was like, "Come on, not at the beginning."
Matches your shirt so well.
I was gonna say the blending is impeccable.
Really knows. Your guys' tour ended about 3 weeks ago or so, roughly.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago at this point.
And you had some issues while you're on the road. Was it just
Yeah.
voice?
Well, my voice decided it would be a fun time to just get really hoarse.
Oh no.
I guess that's the issue I have with being a hermit. So much of the time is like I just kind of stay locked in, and then I went out on the road, and my voice was just like, "Man, you have not done a bunch of talking like this in a long time." So it got a little hoarse, but we had a couple of days off, rested, and then it was pretty much it came back a little bit. So yay for that. But yeah, it's always tough when you have like, you're going through a period of being sick and feeling like you're going on stage not able to give the best of your abilities, or because especially like in a situation like that where I'm so excited to get out there and connect with everybody, and then being like, well, I'm not giving them the best that I can. It just sucks. But I also just, outside of even just the show portion, I just love being able to, that I'm in a position where I could still be behind merch and talk to everybody one on one and kind of give them that sort of connection. I feel like that a lot of times means more to people than me missing a couple of notes on stage because I'm sick.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the most frustrating thing about a vocalist is a guitar. You can tune a guitar and you're going to be just
100%.
fine.
Yeah.
And the drums, it's always going to be, it's always going to be right. But you just never know what you're going to get out of somebody's voice
They're
one
so
night
fickle.
to the next.
Yeah, I can't go to Guitar Center and pick up a new set of chords as much as
Exactly.
I'd love to. And like I said, and the whole time my bandmates were yelling at me, specifically between at the shows where they're like, you should just be on vocal rest the entire time. And I'm like, but then I don't get to talk to anybody. And like I said before, I feel like that's a little bit more meaningful in the things that they'll remember more than, being a little hoarse. So I would rather sacrifice some vocal rest in favor of being able to have real conversations with people. Like I said, that's what I'm there for. So screw
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I agree.
Like, on that topic, I want to mention as well, Steven Tyler has some problems, and they had to cancel a bunch of their shows through this. So, yeah, you've got to take care of your voice and stuff. Like, he'd been doing it for like 50 years, so I guess like over time it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did one tour right before the pandemic, and I think I probably even had COVID. I just didn't know what it was at the time because it hadn't exploded yet. But I had no voice, and I was just like, well, screw it. We'll just muddle through. And I did the entire tour with no voice, and I pushed it so hard that I couldn't sing for like 6 months afterwards. It was so bad. So this time I definitely did decide when it got really bad. I'm like, we have to trust and respect our body and just cancel one show so that I can protect myself and be good for the rest of them. So it's a really tough call, but like I said, a ton of singers did it. Like I know Hayley Williams had to cancel a bunch because she had a lung infection, and it's such a tough call and it's so disappointing. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to be able to long term do your job because you pushed it so hard, you caused permanent damage, then literally nobody wins.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very true.
So has there been any hurdles that you've had to face as a band? And how did you navigate through those hurdles? Whether it being setting up a tour or just writing, and how do you guys as a band just navigate family things, because you are family. I mean, a band is a family, and you're going to argue over here and that type of thing. How do you guys navigate through that? Is there kind of like a leader? Do you pass around a stick? Okay, it's your turn to talk.
Yeah, I mean, I have absolutely gotten into arguments with every single member of my band without question, and the same amongst them. But, I think as long as we all realize that we're just arguing for the greater good in the bigger picture, then it's easy to kind of navigate through that because we all care. It's the biggest issues I've had in the past are with members that like want to argue you, but like they're not, or they don't argue, or they just completely separate themselves from the rest of the group because you can tell that they're just like 1 foot out. And I have a bigger problem with that than somebody arguing me because we're passionate about what approach to take to the same goal. So that's,
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And, like I said, and like I have no hard feelings if, if this isn't for you anymore, then that's fine. Like, I would rather you leave than to stay and not care about what you're doing and make everybody's lives hell because X, Y, Z. But yeah, like I don't mind a good old argument. We love a debate in this house.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
That's
and then
awesome.
like just being an independent band, a lot of times I guess the biggest struggle is always just financials. But if you love something, you just find a way to make it work. So
awesome. Kind of on that note, how do you separate, I say work-life balance or band life balance, outside the band? How do you keep that all together, and how do you juggle that?
I don't have one. Just being
Fair
completely
enough.
frank, like I don't have one. I'm 100% terrible at that. I've tried to do better at, just making sure that I spend more time away from my phone, past a certain hour. But even when I'm not like on phone or on social media doing stuff in band, I'm listening to music. I'm always in my head being creative, coming up with ideas or like planning for future stuff, just jotting stuff down in my notes app or whatever.
Nice.
It's just who I am and it's what I love. But like, I can't tell you the last time I just sat down and like watched a new TV show. Like, it's just not in my blood. I'm a psychopath.
No, it takes a special breed.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
does.
And I think that that's what I love, and that's, who I am. And I think the people that are in your life, if they don't want you to do that, then they're not meant to be in your life anyway. So I think I've done a really good job at keeping the people in my life that support me and want to see me do well and love my drive and, tenacity. And I've gotten rid of the people who want to keep me small. So there you go.
It's us. We support you. That's why you're back.
Absolutely.
You're good, you.
Did you hear that, you guys? I'm good. So,
God damn it.
I totally just went blank on what my next statement to follow up on that was. So I'm going to have to shut up now.
Sure. Her complimenting you
It'll come
just
back
got
to
you all
you in
frazzled.
I was supposed to do the compliments and it came back and now I don't know where I was going. Before my little pup interrupted though earlier, I started to mention your stuff was out on Linktree, and I know Ashton's already threw that out in the comment section. It's got everything out there, and to help them with their financials, go out and order their merch. Like, go help them do it.
Please buy a t-shirt.
Right.
And it has. I think I was out there earlier today. Is just got the 2 CDs that are out there from like the last one, 2018.
Yep.
Right on.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that I was looking at all the right things. Oh, and
As I make everything blue.
There we go. You guys.
Let's ignore everything being blue.
Good job, Ashton.
I can do some stuff white.
Awesome. That's good stuff. Yeah, go buy merch.
Yeah,
Go
buy
to a
merch.
show. Yeah, if you
And
can't
not
catch the
just
show,
this band, all bands, honestly.
damn right. Exactly.
That's where the money is. Like, everyone thinks that,
Exactly.
like being on tour and doing all that. I've been in this band for so long, and I have never personally made a single dollar from this band. Like, it literally every dollar that comes from t-shirts or CDs or anything like that goes right back into our gas tank, into creating new merch, into recording, into any and all things to keep this ship afloat, so that we don't have to personally come out of pocket. But when we're on the road, like, we're using our own money and it gets rough. So
Yes.
and like I said, even
things
bands that
add
are
up quick.
yeah, like I think I saw an article recently, Courtney from Spirit Box was talking about even bands at their size,
Oh my gosh.
like, they're just not making money. They're like, how do you not have money? You have like 700,000 monthly listeners. And she's like, yeah, we don't see any of that. Like,
Right.
Right.
pennies, man. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that like if fans really knew like how little money there is in just streaming and stuff like that, they would be shocked. So buy merch,
think
support your favorite bands.
exactly. And I think
Right.
even on that bigger level, just like that, it's just like you. Everything's invested right back, whether it's in um, making a better production, a better
Mhm.
show. They're just investing back to themselves, and that's what musicians usually do. And
Yeah.
it makes total sense to me. They
Yeah.
aren't just like taking it all to the bank.
Right. And like so many people like that I've had conversations with this just like in family or friends and stuff like that are like, well, like, why do you do it then? It's like, well, because we love it. Like, it's who we are. It's what we do. I would rather, turn all the money back into doing something that I love. That's like therapy and a way of healing, something that helps me feel safe to express myself, to connect with other people and find a sense of community than to, be at a job that I hate making money to live. Like it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Is
anybody
your-
that thinks we do this for money is sorely mistaken. We'd quit a long time ago.
is your next tour in the works currently, or is there discussions about it coming up, or no?
Yeah, we've got a couple of shows coming up later this year that hopefully we'll be able to announce soon. But other than that, we're working on getting the next single ready so that we can bring that to everybody and hit the road again and just, keep dropping them one by one. I think that we've done the album thing so much that it really is just sort of a dead media, if you will.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, we're really proud of the songs that we have coming up that I want each and every one to have its moment, to be able to deep dive and talk about and let it have its moments, because there were so many songs on the last record that, we put a couple singles out, but there were ones that I was really proud of that people don't
Just got
even know
lost.
to check them out because,
Yeah.
they just get lost in the mix when you release
Yeah.
so much at once. So I want to give
Right.
each one its moment this time. And I've been having a lot of fun doing it this way too, even though I try so hard to hold on to the albums because that's what I loved as a kid, just getting a new album, sitting with the CD booklet, like showing my age.
Right.
But, so I really wanted to recreate that, but at the end of the day, I can get the same kind of effect just breaking it down song by song, and I think that helps people to connect to the full body of work a little bit better too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that helps with the short attention span of everybody. Because yeah, you drop an album, there's like, all right, cool, it's 11 songs, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Done.
What other music do I
Yes.
have? It's like,
Dishes.
well, just sit down and enjoy it. So
I know.
EPs and singles, it sucks, but with the attention span that we have today, EPs and singles is, you gotta do that.
You
Yeah,
have to do
you've
it.
got to
Yep.
embrace what's going on. You
Yep,
do.
yep. You got to adapt to your situation, or
Yep.
you get lost in the shuffle, and
Yep.
that's just the way it works, unfortunately.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, for sure.
How do you go about engaging with your audience during a live show, and what kind of experience do you strive to create for them?
That was
Like
too
I said, I
scripted.
really just
Whoa.
love
That
building
was
a sense
scripted,
of
Randy.
family and community. Like we're still a part where we're playing like relatively like more intimate venues, so I get to just kind of stand up there and talk to people like I would if I was just with friends at like a party or something. I just get to crack jokes, make fun of people, like
Make fun
haze
of
them a little bit.
Oh,
Make
yeah,
fun of
you have
myself
to.
mostly. But yeah, like
Keeps them engaged.
Exactly. Like like I said, it just feels a lot more fun and a little bit more raw than when you're playing huge venues or like festivals where you have to just kind of like perform to the way back. It's a completely different atmosphere, and I'm still really a big fan of like the super up close sort of environments. It feels really punk rock to me. And
I love that.
being able to go to the merch afterwards and just stand there and people can come up to you and have one-on-one conversations with you. I think it's great. And I really love being able to do that. Just, as someone who also feels like ignored and, shy, sometimes it's easier to just one-on-one talk to somebody. And like I said, I love being able to, I know fans have told me they've seen bands and they go and they buy their merch and they just kind of like shake your hand. Okay, on to the
Mhm.
next. And I know what that's like. So I want everybody who comes to my shows to feel seen and to feel heard and to feel like they, like, you know, made a friend. And I run all of our social media. So the same person you talk to at shows, you can follow us online, and I'm still the same person responding to you then. It's not a bot. It's not somebody we hired. It's just us. So I just kind of like to keep that feeling of like a genuine human connection first and foremost at our shows.
I feel
That's
that so
huge.
much because I've been at shows, and not even really big shows. You think they're pretty intimate, and it feels like the band can't even see you. You may
Yes.
be like 2 or 3 from the front, and you're just like, I don't even know if they realize I'm even here, you know? And it's
Yeah.
just like, what all do they see? And then you go, oh, it's all the lights. They can't, you know, they can't, there's no eye contact, and there's just
Yeah.
no, so the way that you said, I like to joke around with people and get a little banter going, you know, at least that engages people. But I've been at so many shows to where it's just like, hey, yo, I'm just right here. I mean, you can't even direct eye contact, nothing, just
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, I
So-
love to do. Like I said, I literally stand on stage and I say that I want to meet every single motherfucker in this room. And I mean that. I will stand there all night and talk to everybody as long as you come up to me.
Does that make
I
it
love that.
easier while you're on stage? Because you said you're kind of shy and you don't talk to a lot of people, but then when you're out doing your thing, like you're talking to everybody, does it make it
Yeah.
easier to do it on stage where you can't necessarily see faces to just let everything roll out?
I think it's a little easier on stage because these people came there to see you a lot of the time. And so you kind of bond through this common thread that you have. Like, I'm not standing in front of a bunch of strangers who I feel like, oh, are they judging me? Are they going to throw things at me? Do they think I'm weird? And, you know, just all of that overthinking. Like, this is my chance. Like, these are my people. This is my tribe. So I feel safe and comfortable enough at shows to be able to open up a little bit because those are the people that are there to support me. I remember there was a real turning point I had playing a hometown show where I was just in my feels, and I just kind of straight up broke down and cried on stage, and I was so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, everybody probably thinks this is hella cringe. So embarrassed. But the way that they, like, everybody threw up little heart hands and embraced me made me realize that I was in a safe space to be able to open up and be like, legitimately who I am, and that these people would accept me for that, and I felt like they loved me more, and for me, not the character that I was putting on stage. So that kind of gave me a little bit of a sense of freedom to let some of that guard down.
That's
Wow,
really
that'd
cool.
be awesome. That'd make me cry more.
I
I wouldn't know how to react to that. Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, like
I would love seeing somebody put that much emotion down.
yeah, it was
Right.
crazy.
Really?
There was a video, and I've posted it to social media. Like I said, everybody threw up heart hands, and then they started chanting family, and like I watched it back at dinner
Oh,
afterwards, and I
no.
cried so hard because I'm like, I just can't believe that like a band like my size like had this kind of an impact on people. It's easy to get lost in that, to feel like you're shouting and nothing you do matters. But to these people in that moment, it did matter, and I did have an impact. So it just felt really good. It felt really validating, gave me the kind of push that I needed to remember what I'm doing and to keep going. So all is not lost. Like, I
Yeah,
am an absolute
for sure.
overthinker, and I will talk myself into, you know, the worst situations, like, or feeling the worst things about myself.
I feel that.
Whew. Should turn the
Everybody's
AC
taking-
on here.
everybody's taking a sip. And so I want to always offer the huge help that we can help you through the Midwest. If you're ever coming through, let us know.
Mhm.
We might have some plans.
Woo!
I'm ready for it.
You
Yeah,
remember
now all we
where
have
I'm
to
at.
do is hope that, you know, life doesn't get in the way and things. There's been so much of that. That's another thing. We'll go back to a previous question, is you'll have stuff booked and then people double book and this, that, and then one thing falls through, then all the rest fall through. So
Yeah.
we're sending positive vibes out this time. Yeah.
Right. This is gonna happen.
It's gonna
Let's do it.
happen.
Oh yeah, it is so tough. Even now, just talking about new COVID, it's so hard to book out. You don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know what's coming. So I
Yeah.
totally get it. And
Yeah.
having to book out 3 to 6 months in advance to get a tour, it's tough. Tough.
Yeah. Touring post COVID, I found has been difficult. Like I said, the shows have been great, so I have no complaints there. But just like being able to set up like these long runs and have everything fall in line the way that they should has
Yeah.
been an absolute nightmare. And I don't wish
Yeah.
on anybody, but all worth it when it works out. The stars will align. It'll all be good.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I was going to ask you about earlier, and I blanked. Are you guys with your merch when you go to venues? Are you having any of that issue where they're trying to take part of your merch sales and stuff? Do you have a lot of that going on while you're on tour?
No, we haven't run into a whole lot of that. There was literally one venue that we played that was like, that wanted to do a merch cut. And I'm like, okay, I guess. Like, it's not like we made a crazy amount of money that night or anything. So I'm like, if you want it, go ahead. But it's just, it's like we're already taking a hit here. Like,
Right.
so
Right.
that, like,
Exactly.
makes it work. Like, and you're going to take this little bit too. Like, sure. But I know that that's a problem for a lot of the bigger bands. I remember specifically, I saw there was Bad Omens was playing a show, and the bar was selling drinks named after their songs, and then took a cut of their merch. He's like, so you want to use our name to sell your drinks, and we don't get a cut of that, but you're going to take a cut of our merch? Seems sus. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought it was kind of big of him to be able to speak out, because I feel like most people wouldn't or are scared to, but
Yeah.
props to him.
Yeah, most people just kind of sweep it under the rug like it's just not worth it. Not worth
Yeah.
it. Walk away.
I agree, and I've said it many times on this show.
it's crazy.
Venues out there, stop taking their money.
Please.
Yeah, it's like artists are literally the only people in the music industry that aren't getting paid. Everybody else is. We're not, though.
Right.
But we're all
And
just
that
like,
merch is
please,
the only
more.
way. Right. Oh, that is frustrating.
So
Yeah.
yes, buy directly from the band. Go to their websites.
Mhm.
No venues can take their stuff. So
Super
go help.
grateful. You have no idea how grateful bands are for that.
Right. And most of these bands have some pretty badass merch too. So it's like, come on now.
Right on.
Like I know it's been many years since I saw you guys live, but you guys had like 8 different shirts or something at the venue, and I was like, oh man, I want that, I want that, I want that. It was also right in the middle of the government shutdown, so
Yeah.
I was like,
Right.
I can't get that, I can't get that, I can't get that.
That's
Yep.
exactly it. And now we're trying to, that's another thing that's been fun about doing singles, is that we can kind of cater merch specific to each individual
yeah.
song as like a limited edition sort of thing, which has been a lot of fun. Just more ways of being creative and, putting visuals behind the song, which is like a thing that I'm a sucker for. So
Right.
I will take advantage of it in any and all ways.
It's
Awesome.
not a bad thing at all.
Yeah, why not?
Well, thank you so much, JC. It looks like our other guest is here already, but you are so welcome back anytime, and anything that you've got going on, please let us know.
Absolutely. You
just
guys
shoot
are
us a
always so much
message.
fun to talk to. And when I saw that you guys invited me back to do this, I was like, yes.
Love it. Love it.
Awesome.
Again, check out the link tree. It'll take you to everything that
All
that
things.
they've got going on. Yeah.
Yes.
Buy that merch.
Buy that
Buy
merch.
that merch.
Please.
Heard a
Please.
Thank you so much, JC.
Thank you guys so much. I've had a blast.
See you later.
I'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye.
All right, everybody. That was JC from A Light Divided, and their link is out there. And go support them. Go watch their videos too.
Absolutely.
For sure.
All right. Hey, hey,
Howdy, howdy.
hey. What is going on, Paul?
Man, I woke up again this morning.
Hell yeah.
That's a good day.
And
Just
you're
keep
looking
tapping.
vertical. Woo!
Yeah. Should I flip my phone the other way, or is that
No, you're perfect. You're
All right,
no, you're upright.
good deal? Every day
How's it
above the
going?
dirt is a good day, right?
Exactly.
For
exactly.
For sure, man.
So I
Randy,
just kind of
you want to do a quick round of who we are?
absolutely. Yes. My name is Randy and I'm in Oklahoma City.
I'm Ashton. I'm also out of Oklahoma City.
And I'm John. I'm in Topeka, Kansas.
And I'm Paul, and I'm in Houston.
Hell yeah, not far. Not far.
How's that heat?
You know what?
Oh, God.
Right now we got a little bit of a thunder storm system coming through, so it's actually cooled down. But it's been miserable, dude.
Yeah. We have
That's
my brother and sister-in-law just moved out there and they're like, what did we do?
Well, I will tell you this summer has been as hot as I can remember. Like, it's usually hot, but this has been like way hot, so it shouldn't be that bad next year. It's usually like high 90s. It's been like 108, 105. So
Insane.
for some reason,
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
my solution
Oh,
is just
God.
stay inside in the AC. I just don't go anywhere.
Right. I wish that was my choice because that'd be amazing.
He works on ACs.
You
Yeah.
know what? Before I did music solely for a living, I did HVAC for about 12 years.
Oh, wow. So you definitely know what I'm going through then.
I feel the pain, man.
You've been in a couple
Oh,
of
it's
attics.
brutal, man.
Oh, I've been in many attics. Yeah, my insides were cooked thoroughly. Yeah.
Right. I'm well done now.
So let's talk about Coldwards. So, how long have you guys been together? What's the basis of the band? I mean, it looks like there's a lot of Crosbys.
There's a lot of Crosbys, which could be dangerous. We the band, the initial formation of the band happened in 2020 when everybody was locked down.
Mm-hmm.
It really just started off with me and the bass player Richie Hay, just messing around, writing some, just drinking and writing songs, just for boredom. And then I started sharing some of the song ideas with my sons, and they like, well, we're bored too. Let us work on some songs with you. And then the songs just kept rolling out and morphing from there. And it was probably 6 months into it that we were like, well, I guess we're a band now, I mean,
we ought to
initially
name ourselves.
Yeah, right. We were initially just gonna write some songs and just release them. I was still touring with Saliva then. Well, not during the lockdowns, but we were just gonna, see what we came up with and just release some songs, father and sons, kind of just to say we did. That's kind of where it started, and then things kept progressing, and the next thing you know, we're like, oh, we need a band name, so.
Things added up quick.
Pretty fast, yeah.
It's all right.
That's
all
awesome,
right.
though.
So
What's it like working with your kids? I mean,
It's
is there kind of is there like I'm in charge type thing going on, or
No, not really. Honestly, man, they're way more talented than me, and I think they're a lot better songwriters as well. So really, they got that part on lock. But where I kind of do draw the line, though, is I've been doing this professionally for 22 some odd years, and so I know the industry side of it. So
mm-hmm.
I don't budge a lot on what kind of things that we should be doing in order to, I have to coach them that, we're not the ones buying the record. We can't just write stuff just what we like, although we do just kind of write from the heart and whatever comes out with no set, notions of what we're going for. But when we decided to actually see where we could take this, it was like, all right, well, we have to set some parameters because to give ourselves a better chance of success, you know.
Absolutely. And what's your thoughts on like singles, EPs, and full albums?
Well, our first record, our debut record, Blood Work, which came out,
Mm-hmm.
well, actually officially released last year, is a 10-song full album. I would not recommend anyone releasing a full album. We just happen to have 10 songs. But we did release 5 singles first, like about every couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
What I would highly recommend, and what we're doing with this new EP, is we're going to release 5-song EPs from here on out. But we're going to release like 3 to 4 singles from that EP, and then release the full EP on the 5th single, and then start over on the next one.
Okay.
If you release a full album or a body of songs at once, these days it ends up not all of the songs get the attention that they deserve. You know, back in my day, we would buy full-length albums and pop it in, rock it front to back. You know, it just doesn't really work that way anymore. And then on top of that, if you're trying to trigger the algorithms on all of the streaming platforms and stuff, it works better if you release constant content versus, you know, if you drop a full album, it might be a year before you release something else. But if you drop a bunch of singles first from the album and then the album, you're stacking up your releases, and it helps with triggering like the Spotify and Apple Music algorithms to help get you on their editorial playlist, which exposes you to a whole bunch more people.
Man, that makes a lot of sense, and I didn't even think about that piece of it.
Yeah. I also
you got to
know
be active.
Yeah, what I do full time for a living now is I don't know if you guys knew this, but I run a band management company. I think you guys interviewed Dark Remedy, right? Maybe.
Yep.
I manage
Yes.
them, and I also have been playing drums
cool.
for them as well. But so I'm very in tune with kind of the new industry model and what bands need to do in order to try to, you know, accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. So I stay very in touch with the ever-changing way of doing things in the music industry now, which seems to be about every 2 weeks. So
You're
Not wrong.
Not wrong at all.
God.
Absolutely. I want to talk about your new song that's out now, Bad News, and it's climbing some charts and making waves right now.
yeah.
I know that Randy's got that, and we're going to give everybody a little 30-second preview of it.
Okay.
Maybe.
That's why I leave
Maybe.
the song lead ups to John. He's smooth as hell with them. I love it.
Don't tell me you're in the same place you were when I let go. Or do you think that I'm under the wheel? I keep hitting all the credits with people like you. Keep making old friends with bad news. All behind me. Everything you brought on yourself. I don't have the soul to pretend with people like you. Keep making old friends with bad news.
Yeah. I was sitting there wanting to air drum. I was fighting it.
Right.
Dude, that's a solid production right there too, man. That
yeah.
doesn't look like that was any little feat to make that video. That looks awesome.
It was definitely it was pretty much all green screen. So for us, it was easy. For the video editor, it was probably about 6 weeks worth of work.
Oh.
So he had the short end of the stick. Yeah.
I wasn't going to ask if that was green screen or if you were guys on top of the building or not.
I honestly, I wanted to do the video actually on top of a skyscraper here in downtown Houston. I've always wanted to do that, but when you start looking into it, it's going to be a very big budget. You're going to have to pull permits and, you know, rent helicopters and all that stuff. So it's kind of like, well, what's our second option, you know? So
Right.
went with the green
6 weeks of editing.
Yeah. It was good stuff, though. It was fun.
Oh yeah, that looked amazing.
Now, how much deeper meaning into that song is there behind it?
Well, So my son Zach wrote the bulk of the lyrics for that song, and actually he's really good at this. He actually had those lyrics written. He's got a bunch of lyrics written. Like when we send him ideas, he's pretty much like, "Oh yeah, I got this," and he's like has stuff written. But that song initially, when Zach wrote it, it was about someone that he was in another musical project with, who kind of tried to take credit for everything and make Zach feel like he was nothing without him, like it's all him. But we like to put our song lyrics out to where anybody listening to the song could rationalize that in whatever their personal situation is that they're going, on in their life, and they could say, "Hey, that song means this to me." But I had Zach give me one paragraph to sum up what the song is about for press. I'm gonna read it to you. Bad news is about losing touch with someone you care about when they become surrounded by people that change them for the worse and become blinded by loyalty to people that will never reciprocate it. So hopefully that sums it up. But again, I like the listeners to hear it, and whatever it means to them, that's what it means.
Right.
Like I was trying to
That's
rationalize
awesome.
in my head because I listened to it a few times this afternoon, back and forth, and I was like, there's something deeper to this that I just got to ask about, because I was like,
Yeah.
I was making up things in my head, like you
See,
said,
and that's
you do.
and that's
did
the
his
way
job.
I like it, man. Whatever was in your head, that's what it's about. That's what it's supposed to be about to you,
Yeah.
I dig that. I dig that a lot, and
is awesome.
I do want to say your vocalist. I love listening to him because you can understand what he's singing. It's like there's a clarity to his voice while he's singing. It's just it's amazing.
He has
So-
phenomenal dictation.
On that song, Zach, my son Zach, is doing the lead vocals, except for in the heavy bridge, the kind of screamy part. That's Sean, and then there's songs where Sean does the main lead vocal tracks and all that. But yeah, Zach's the more melodic, singy one, and Sean's more of the metally kind of, like metally, not medley, like screaming type stuff.
So it's kind of like Gene and Paul, where they just take turns singing their songs.
Yeah, and and they'll when one of them singing, the other one will be doing harmonies, and kind of like Gene and Paul, right?
Right on.
Lincoln
did
Park
that,
did
Randy?
it, and I Prevail is doing it. So that's
Absolutely.
two
And
huge ones.
We're big fans of both of those bands, and I think
just
that
a new.
also shows a little bit in our music. We don't set out to try to sound like anybody of our influences, but it's hard to not have your influences come through in your music,
Oh yeah, they'll always creep in, which
Yeah.
isn't always a bad thing though.
Not at all. As long as you're just not blatantly ripping them off, I'm cool with it.
Stealing riffs, stealing lyrics. Like, all right, come on, guys.
Right. Yeah.
Now, is there a big difference in influences between you and your sons coming from the different generations of music?
Absolutely. And also, there's 5 people in this band. We have Michael Freese on lead guitar and Richie Hay on bass. And between the 5 of us, if you looked at all of our playlists, it's complete different. Like Sean is into a lot of, we're all into like the basics, like Linkin Park, Brick and Benjamin, those kind of bands. But Sean's more into heavy stuff like Architects.
Oh, cool.
Tons of heavy bands.
Yeah.
Zach is really into EDM and hip hop. That's his thing. Actually, the group that he was in, that he wrote Bad News about, the other guy, they were like a rap group. It was really good too. Richie's more into like industrial, 9 Inch Nails, Three Teeth, stuff like that. Michael's got a pretty versatile taste. He likes a little bit of everything, and my playlist is everything from Garth Brooks to Cannibal Corpse, man. Like everything in between.
That's
when
not
I'm,
like
when I'm
me.
in my truck, I'm usually listening to country, But obviously, I love Slayer, Metallica, Pantera, all the good, the whole gambit, man. To me, there's no genre. If I hear a song and it moves me, I love it.
Yeah.
We've said that on multiple different times where it's like good music is just good music. We've had country artists on here and talking to them. We've had all kinds of different things, we've interviewed Air Supply at one point.
Awesome.
We had the most metal people like in our comments going, dude, Air Supply, I fucking love them.
So name one Air Supply song that doesn't have the word love in the title.
Oh no.
Got him. No, but no, they're probably. I was just saying, they're hit makers. You got to give credit to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Massive. You know, people don't songs. People don't write songs like Journey, Air Supply, all those big '70s and early '80s bands. Music is. It's not like you don't have those big core hits like that anymore.
Yeah,
crazy.
I agree, 1,000%. And I can't think of a song.
I can't either. Now, my mind's just
sitting. But definitely, the love word is definitely in the lyrics. But dude, they made a career out of
that. So, what would you be doing if you weren't a musician? AC work?
I would.
I was about to say HVAC.
I would. Now, would I want to be doing that? No, but I would definitely be doing that because I made really good money doing that. I had my own business, and outside of music, it was the job that I had that paid the most money in my entire life. So I'm sure I'd still be doing that. But if I had my choice and I could go back to my childhood, I would probably be like an astronaut or work for NASA or some type of space nerdy stuff. So I'm very, very into that.
Really
That'd be
cool.
Awesome, though.
Let's see here.
I went blank just now because I was going to follow that up with something.
He's still thinking Air Supply.
Right. Do I need to look up songs for you?
Give me my head the rest of the night. I did want to make sure we get out there. Your guys' one-stop shop where everybody can go find all your stuff and merch, songs. Do you guys have a link tree out there? Or
we do. We also have Coldwards.com, and just for everybody listening, it's spelled COLDWARDS. But if you go to Coldwards.com,
it's huge, yeah.
For sure.
And if you're out there doing that, subscribe to ours as well.
Since you're there.
Love it.
I don't think we've ever told people to do that, but we do have our stuff on YouTube. So
yes, we do. Right. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So, what is the ultimate dream or vision that you have for this band's legacy? Right. Been there, done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you guys have
What more
do
can
you
you
guys have
ask
tour
for?
plans out there?
It's
Spectacular.
not a bad move.
Pretty cool.
So one thing I do want to know is where'd you end up finding Richie and Michael? Oh wow. Right, right. By default, you're here now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. Hell yeah.
Really
That's
cool.
pretty good. Oh yeah. Which yeah, chemistry is very underrated is what people think, but no, you've got to have good chemistry if you want stuff to work together.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's not just you wake up one morning and you're there. It's
No shit.
every hour of every day. And even when you get there, it's every hour of every day to stay there. Right. Right. Oh yeah, for real. It's insane.
Well, I'm looking forward to all your other releases that you got coming. And so
Oh, yeah.
from what I saw, you're going to have the full EP release early spring of next year. Makes sense. Okay, I thought it was very specific on there as like of next year, and now it makes total sense to me. I mean, because you've already got these in the chamber, right? I mean, it's ready. So I was just like, man, they are just holding on to them.
It's not a bad.
It
play.
is. It is. It is.
Not a bad play at all.
Well, thank you
hell
so
yeah.
much, Paul. I really appreciate everything you've been doing and you've done for us, and I mean, helping out some of the bands, and anything that you need from us, just let us know at any given point, and we'll be there 100%. Whether if it's just some free promotion, hop back on, hit us up, and we'd love to have you on. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm down.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I can't wait now.
I'm
That's
ready
awesome.
for it now. Hell yeah.
Like I said, just anytime you have something, just hit us up. Even if it's a 5-minute, hey, I just want to talk about this. Okay, come on.
Our door's open.
It's going to be the same link. You can get in at any point, anytime, and yeah, that's the entrance to our home right there. You've already got it.
Almost every Wednesday night we're doing this.
Almost.
Almost.
We tried to go every other week, but then we had bands filling in those gaps anyway, and we're like, okay, well, we'll go with that.
Let's do it. For sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Paul. It's been awesome, and I can't wait to see what you guys got going on. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
We have a good evening, and stay cool out there.
Later, man.
I just want to point out that Randy just said "stay cool" like you did in your grade school yearbooks. That's what everybody wrote to you. Don't worry, we'll bring it back. We'll bring that term back. Stay cool, guys.
Let's not bring that term back.
Well, what I would like to point out is how amazingly
He's laughing at me right now. And Christy's over here on the sideline laughing at me. Stay cool.
God damn it.
how smooth my reference was tonight that I got to bring up that one thing. It was pretty smooth, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's smoother than normal. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, gentlemen.
So are we playing the outro song? Are we trying that, or is that not a thing?
I don't have it pulled out.
Yeah, no problem. So on the outro, what I'd like to say then for sure is, hey, go hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. And also, we still have shirts available too, so hit us up like on our socials, and we'll link you up to get shirts. And Kara, if you're watching from Australia, I haven't forgot because hers is being delivered to her by Delacoma when he comes through here. So see you next week.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, and I'm going to be heading to Kansas.
Not to see me.
No, not to see
Why
you.
are you going to Kansas?
I'm going to Pratt, Kansas. So
Just reasons unknown. But don't worry about it.
I have to go up there and do an inventory at one of their stores up there.
Oh, that's annoying. Have fun. I thought it was for something fun.
No, nothing fun.
At least you get paid for it.
All right, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks, probably.
Yep. All right. Later.
There you go. Later.
We bang your ugly friends too.